Hello friends, today we will see the timeline of dividend, how dividend is paid and when it is paid, if not paid, then what is the procedure. First of all, we will see section 123 subsection 4, which states that the amount of the dividend including interim dividend shall be deposited in a scheduled bank in a separate account within 5 days from the date of declaration of such dividend. It means this in AGM, annual general meeting, the shareholders approves the dividend, the final dividend, which was earlier proposed by the board of directors. From that day, the company must deposit that dividend amount in separate bank account within 5 days. This is the very simple section 123 subsection 4. Further, we will see the next section. The next section is section 124 subsection 1, which state where a dividend has been declared by a company but has not been paid or claimed within 30 days from the date of declaration to any shareholder entitled to the payment of dividend, the company shall within 7 days from the date of expiry of this said period of 30 days transfer the total amount of dividend which remains unpaid or unclaimed to a separate account to be opened by the company in that behalf in any scheduled bank to be called the unpaid dividend account. This section simply says that within 30 days the dividend must be paid to each and every shareholder. If it is not paid to shareholder or it is not claimed or paid to the shareholder, then within next 7 days, that means from the zeroth day or zero day is the date of declaration of dividend. Then next 5 days plus next 25 days, including 5 days, total 30 days. In 30 days, it should be paid or claimed by the shareholder or to the shareholder. But if it is not done so, then within next 7 days, it is to be deposited in a separate bank account called unpaid dividend account of so and so company. Friends, here the government has put a very simple law. If the company has already declared the dividend and 30 days have already been passed, then company cannot use those dividend money which is not been paid for its own purpose. It can not run its business or it cannot use that money for the purpose of businesses. So it must keep that money in a separate bank account called unpaid dividend account of the said company. And that bank should be scheduled bank. Then the next section is section 124 subsection 2. This section says that the company shall within a period of 90 days of making any transfer of such an amount under subsection 1 to the unpaid dividend account prepare a statement containing the names, their last known addresses and the unpaid dividend to be paid to each person and place it on the website of the company if any, and also on any other website approved by the central government for these purposes in such form, manner and other particulars as may be prescribed. This simply says that once the company within 7 days after completion of 30 days deposit the amount of unpaid dividend to the unpaid dividend account within next 90 days, the day from which it transfer the amount to the unpaid dividend account, it may be happen that company transfer the amount from on the very next day, that is 31st day, or it can also transfer the amount on the 37th day. It has 7 days to transfer the amount to the unpaid dividend account. From that, for an example, we take it took the maximum time, that is 7 days. From that 37th day, then more 90 days. In those more 90 days period, it has to make a list of the shareholders who have not claimed the dividend and put that list on its website, and also on the website which is approved by the government. That is generally www.mca.gov.in or any other website which is approved by the government. By doing this, the shareholders who are anyway knows that they are a shareholder of a particular company. For an example, they are a shareholder of Infosys. Then they can anytime at any corner of the world, they can see what is the unpaid dividend entitled to me, and it can claim, he or she can claim easily. So this is the very simple reason behind keeping the list of unpaid dividend, and we will keep on that website name their last known address. It may be possible that company might have sent the check of the dividend, but the house or the business office was closed, or he or she has changed the address. So the check was returned by the courier company. It may be also possible. So these are the details. Then next section is section 124, subsection 3, which says that if any default is made in transferring the total amount referred to in subsection 1 or any part thereof to the unpaid dividend account of the company, it shall pay from the date of such default interest on so much of amount as has not been transferred to the said account at the rate of 12%. Please mark it. It is 12% interest per annum, and the interest accruing on such account amount shall ensure to the benefit of the members of the company in proportion to the amount of remaining unpaid to them. This simply again says that after completion of initial 30 days period, the company has to transfer the unpaid dividend or unclaimed dividend to the separate account in a scheduled bank called unpaid dividend account. But if it doesn't transfer, then it has to pay the interest at the rate of 12%, and that interest goes into account of the shareholders on whose amount it accrued. For example, total dividend declared was 100 crore, out of which 10 crore was unpaid dividend after 30 days. But even after more 7 days, that means even after the 37th day, company did not transfer it to the unpaid dividend account, but it transferred the 10 crore rupees on 50th day. That means it delayed for more 13 days. So for those 13 days, the company has to pay interest at the rate of 12% per annum, and that interest will be credited to the shareholders whose dividend it was. Because for an example, if the company has not delayed and company has paid on time, then the shareholder must have got the dividend, and shareholder could have earned interest on that amount. So to compensate that interest lost, the government has put a provision to pay interest at the rate of 12% per annum to the shareholders in proportion to the amount remaining unpaid to them. It is very simple. Then next section is section 124, subsection 4. Any person claiming to be entitled to any money transferred under subsection 1 to the unpaid dividend account of the company may apply to the company for payment of the money claim. This period is very important. This is after transfer of the unpaid dividend, after transfer of the dividend money to the unpaid dividend account. That means within 37 days, that means initial 30 days plus 7 days, those 37 days or later, or if later, then with interest of 12% per annum, the company has transferred the amount to the unpaid dividend account. But what next? Can a shareholder claim that dividend again? Yes, of course. It's his or her own right. He or she can claim that dividend up to 7 years. So the shareholder has got a right to claim that dividend again within next 7 years. So next section 124, subsection 5. Any money transferred to the unpaid dividend account of a company in pursuance of this section which remains unpaid or unclaimed for a period of 7 years from the date of such transfer shall be transferred by the company along with interest accrued, if any, thereon to the fund established under subsection 1 of section 125, and the company shall send a statement in the prescribed form of the details of such transfer to the authority which administers the fund, and that authority shall issue a receipt to the company as evidence of such transfer. That means after 7 years, the company has to transfer the amount lying in the unpaid dividend account to the account called Investor Education and Protection Fund. Investor Education and Protection Fund, which is maintained by the central government. We have altogether a new section and new provisions regarding that. We will see it later in the next slide. But after 7 years, the amount lying unpaid or unclaimed in the unpaid dividend account is transferred to the fund called Investor Education and Protection Fund. Now we can see the timelines very easily. Here I have put the brief summary of this same, which is 5 plus 30 plus 7 into bracket 90 plus 7 years. So the day on which the shareholders approves the dividend in the board AGM and annual general meeting, from that day, the company has 5 days to deposit that amount in a separate account called in a scheduled bank within 5 days of declaration of such dividend. And mind it, such amount shall not be used for any purpose other than the payment of dividend. Company has no legal right over that amount of dividend, and within 30 days, if it is not paid to the shareholders, then within next 7 days, that means 5 plus 25, this 30 includes initial 5, that means 0 to 5 and 6 to 30. 30 days is the period in which a shareholder can get dividend from the company. From 31st to 37th day, company has time to transfer the unpaid or unclaimed dividend to an account called unpaid dividend account, and the date on which it transfers the amount to the unpaid dividend account, it shall have to put a list on its website or also on the website of nca.gov.in. The list of the shareholders, their last known addresses, their unclaimed or unpaid amount, and the date on which it was transferred. From that date to next 7 years, any shareholder can go to the company, ask for his or her dividend, and company has to pay the dividend to the shareholder. But after 7 years, the amount automatically being transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. So there is one more subsection over here, section 124, subsection 6. It says all shares in respect of which dividend has not been paid or claimed for 7 consecutive years or more shall be transferred by the company in the name of the Investment Education and Protection Fund, along with the statement containing such details as may be prescribed. Here the subsection 6 of section 124 says that if on a particular share, if dividend is not paid or is not claimed for sequential 7 years, consecutive 7 years, एक के बाद एक consecutive, लगातार 7 साल तक अगर पेड नहीं हुआ या क्लेम नहीं हुआ, तो वो जो डिविडेंड है वो तो इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन प्रोटेक्शन फंड में जाता ही जाता है. उसके साथ साथ जो शेयर्स है, all shares in respect of which dividend has not been paid or claimed will be transferred by the company in the name of the Investment Education and Protection Fund, along with the statement containing such details as may be prescribed. यानी कि उनका डिविडेंड भी चला जाएगा और उनके शेयर्स भी चले जाएंगे. तो आपको अभी कोई भी शेयर कंपनी के शेयर्स खरीदते हो तो आपको उसका उसके बारे में अवेयर रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर अवेयर नहीं रहोगे तो 7 साल में आपके शेयर्स भी गए और 7 साल में जो डिविडेंड वो भी जाएगा। नेक्स्ट, provided that any claimant of shares transferred above shall be entitled to claim the transfer of such shares from investor education and protection fund in accordance with such procedure and on submission of such documents as may be prescribed. Importantly, ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, 7 साल होने के बाद भी अगर इन्वेस्टर चाहे, यानी कि जो शेयर होल्डर चाहे, तो वो डिविडेंड और शेयर्स की जो अमाउंट थी, दैट क्लेमेंट ऑफ शेयर्स ट्रांसफर अबव, दैट मींस ट्रांसफर ऑफ जो शेयर्स और डिविडेंड है वो उसकी अमाउंट भी वो इन्वेस्टमेंट एजुकेशन प्रोटेक्शन फंड से रिक्लेम कर सकता है। उसके लिए उसको एक अलग से प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना है, he or she has to follow certain procedure, and after applying the procedure he or she can get his or her shares back. That's very simple. So if this section is not followed or this section is contravened by the company, then what is legal provision for that? The legal provision is that the company will be punishable. Company will have to pay the fine. What is the fine? The company has to pay minimum fine of 5 lakhs and maximum fine can goes up to 25 lakhs. And the officers involved in this procedural part will have to pay minimum fine of 1 lakh and maximum fine of 5 lakhs. That is it. Thank you. Thank you very much.